Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, hello, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab, returning to my live. I was live, and then the missus called, and then she called again. So I went and took the call. This is the AI Learning Lab. I wax poetic about generative AI. I'll answer questions. I'll show you what I know, if I know it. If I can't answer your question, I will tell you that. Someone asked me about my opinion on asparagus once. I had an opinion on that. There seems to be a bit of a hobby figuring out which celebrity I look like. So lately it's Modern Family. I think that's the shirt. The shirt, the glasses, and the fatness. And the comedy. Comedy. Name that comedian, Mark Norman. All right. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. The reason I put these here URLs on screen, those are, the top one is the official ChatGPT website. The next one down is Bing, which is Microsoft's GPT website. And then Poe.com also gives you access to ChatGPT, but also some other models. And it's really interesting. So that's what those are there for. Prompts.chat will teach you how to prompt. Futurepedia is just a whole directory of tools, AI tools, so go play with those. And welcome back if you were here before. And if you're new, welcome. And if you're old, join the club. This is Elder Talk, where old people try to use new technology. Feel free to share the live. Feel free to tell your friends. Feel free to tap the screen. Apparently the likes, if you get lots of likes, the people come running. They come running. They're like scrolling along and they're like, boy, Alec Baldwin looks like shit. That's what someone told me. I was scrolling in my TikTok and I thought it was Alec Baldwin, but he got really fat. I'm like, really? Philip Seymour Hoffman, I've gotten that one. Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, Alec Baldwin, nice. I know, exactly. Someone said Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe if he made a bunch of bad life decisions, didn't win an Oscar. Maybe then. Hey, my name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. If you're new to generative AI or just curious about it, go to that top URL, chat.openai.com, and you can start playing with ChatGPT. I can show you how to use it here. I can answer questions. If you have questions, Brad Pitt, yeah, I wish. The missus is a big fan of Brad Pitt's, and when I'm in the room, she's not comparing us. That's a whole different ballgame. I mean, Brad Pitt's one of those guys that just, he walks into the room and just people's like, gah. Like when you use ChatGPT the first time, you're like, wait, it can do that? That's the kind of effect that dude has. So wait, how do I use ChatGPT more effectively? Well, a couple of things. So let me see if I can go find it. OpenAI just put out... I'm going to openai.com, and I think this is, let's go /blog, openai.com/blog. Hold please. No, it's not here. Okay, hold please. OpenAI, prompting guide. It's not quite called the prompting guide. Best practices. Okay. So OpenAI just put out this paper called Best Practices for Prompt Engineering with OpenAI's API. Now, this is for developers, but the things that they include in here are just things that you can use to get better. So use the latest model. So in that case, if it's ChatGPT, use GPT-4. Put instructions at the beginning of the prompt and use hashtags or quotes to separate the instruction from the context. I don't quite know what that means. Be specific, descriptive, and as detailed as possible about the desired context, outcome, length, format, style. So that one's really important. So, like, one of the things that Google search has trained us over the past couple of decades is to be really concise in what you write. Because if you wrote too many words, it would get garbled and then you get a bunch of shit you didn't want. ChatGPT is kind of the opposite. And it's a lot more like you're having a collaborative conversation with a really smart intern than it is like a search engine, like an answer engine. So if you tell it, like the thing that made the biggest difference for me is you actually kind of shift your mindset and you start talking to it. This is going to sound weird and creepy, but you start talking to it like it's a person. You're like, hey, I have an idea to do this thing, and here's my ideas on it, and I think I'm going to do some blog posts, and I want to do things that are going to get me engagement in social media, and here's some ideas, and maybe even here's a blog post that I wrote. So can you copy my style and give me 10 blog post ideas on these topics, and it'll spit it out. And then you can say, oh, I like number 7. Can you write me a blog post in number 7 using my style? And it will do that. So be really specific, and have it be a conversation. What else do they say? Articulate the desired output format through examples. So you can copy and paste. It's really good at copying. You could take a little chunk of code, or you could take I've done this before with writing tweets. You can take how you've written a tweet and then say, write me 10 tweets on this topic following this format and tone, and it will do it really, really well. What else do they say here? Start with 0 shot, then few shot. So 0 shot just basically means you're just putting in a prompt. Few shot means you're going to put in some examples, and then they give you examples here. Reduce fluffy and imprecise descriptions. So don't just say, write me a poem about the sky. Say, write me a poem about how the beautiful azure sky makes me feel peaceful when the breeze is blowing, or something like that, and it will get much, much better. Instead of just saying what not to do, tell it what to do. Anyway, so this document, so it's at help.openai.com, and then it's called, just do a search for their articles, Best Practices for Prompt Engineering with OpenAI. So that's a good one. I think there's a newer one out than this. Anyway, let's see. So that's a good one. The thing that made the biggest difference for me was shifting out of that mindset of you sort of type in a prompt once and you get an answer. Don't do it like that. Do it like an interaction. I was going to go with, I'm the Brad Pitt of ChatGPT. Yeah, you can say that. I can't say that. I'll get laughed off this app. Talk about violating community guidelines. How do I use ChatGPT more effectively? We just did that. Some comments in the live were filtered. Don't be mean to each other. Don't say nasty shit. But it was probably about me not looking like Brad Pitt. Am I deploying any AI? So I have. So my company Storyvine is an automated video storytelling platform. We rolled OpenAI's Whisper into the platform to do transcriptions. And then I've created a number of content generators where I create some sort of input, like a Google form, and then I'll take the input from that form and incorporate it into some prompts, send that back to OpenAI, and generate like social media content or some. I did a content thing for a consulting organization where you state a business problem, and then it will generate a set of questions that you should be asking in a bunch of different categories. So I'm doing it more on the using the AI side rather than training it myself and things like that. Which that's the inflection point that we're at. November 30th, 2022, marks a bifurcation in the world of AI. Prior to that, it was scientists and researchers and machine learning people, and there were some developers in there, but it was largely the domain of the super geeks, the really smart ones. And post November 30th, after ChatGPT, you have 100 million users were using ChatGPT within 6 weeks. I can't imagine what the numbers are now with Bing and with all this other stuff and with Bard. And, it's got to be hundreds of millions of users are now using these tools that, are not scientists and they're not researchers. They're business people and they're entrepreneurs and they're teachers and they're students and they're right. So we are in a different phase. So the work that I'm doing is like in the post phase. I'm taking these tools and figuring out how I can do them to amplify my business and to amplify my brain. And like I've never felt more creatively alive than I have in the past 6 months. This stuff's just absolutely insane. I'm losing it. I've been walking around my house saying, "You too can make money with ChatGPT." Aren't those people fucking annoying? It's like every time I hit one of those TikToks, like I can't scroll fast enough, and I get that. He's not to make money with ChatGPT. It's like And then if you listen to what they actually say, they're like, "Come up with T-shirt ideas." Okay, well, I could have fucking come up with T-shirt ideas without ChatGPT, and then you still have to do the marketing, do the right, I don't know. Those people are just idiots. So, but here's the deal. Like, can you make money with ChatGPT? Of course you can. You can make money with Photoshop. You can make money with a shovel. How do you make money? You solve problems, right? That's what business is, right? Business is, I've identified a problem. I think that there's a bunch of people out there that have this problem too. And if I solve it, they might pay me for that. That's business. That's how it works. And so ChatGPT is just a tool. Now, it happens to be one of the most powerful tools in the history of mankind. That's fun, but it's just a tool. So where I would suggest you start is with, what are you good at? What are you passionate about? Have you wanted to write something? Do you want to make people laugh? Do you want to, solve problems in your neighborhood, with your community group, with your church? Think about the problem you want to solve, and then start learning ChatGPT or start learning Midjourney or whatever the thing is that will support you in solving that problem. But lead with the problem you want to solve, and then figure out how to use these AI tools to solve it. It'll do two things. You'll learn AI way better because now you've got focus, and you're just like, how do I do this with this? Oh shit, it does that. That's good. I really could make money with ChatGPT. Well, the dog doesn't like it either. All right. Oh, now it's drama. It's Jampy. Jamp. All right. Would you say 4 has gotten better about producing coherent long form versus GPT-3's word salad? Yeah, 4. Well, okay. A couple of things. If you're using Bing.com, which is GPT-4, it has been lobotomized by Microsoft because of they had a pesky little PR issue with the New York Times putting their bot went crazy on the New York Times reporter and told him to leave his wife. So they kind of lobotomized GPT-4. So it's not quite as good as OpenAI. So the GPT-4 at chat.openai.com is dramatically better at writing than GPT 3.5. Now, I still use GPT 3.5. It's way faster. If I just want to knock something out, like give me a table comparing this concept and that concept and blah, 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 you type it in and it's like, there it is. But if you want nuanced writing or good creative writing, things like that, it's GPT-4 is better. The other thing is this, break your... Rather than thinking about a single massive, a prompt that generates a mass of content, break it up into steps, break it up into sections. So like where I'll start if I'm doing creative writing is I'll often even start with a story writing framework. So I'll say, give me the top 3 story writing frameworks for writing a screenplay. And it'll give Sid Field and Save the Cat, and it'll come up with these things. And then I'll say, can you combine the hero's journey with Save the Cat and create me a custom story framework? And it'll do that. And I'm like, that's not quite like I want the middle of the screenplay to be more like this structurally, right? And then it'll give you that. And then you can go, okay, now I have an idea for a screenplay and here are some elements. And then, can you suggest some other characters that I might include, other than these two main characters? And it'll do that. And then you can say, oh, that's great. And here's some plot points. Can you flesh out any of these plot points? And it'll do that. And then you can say, okay, now take those characters we talked about and take those plot points we talked about and throw them into that story framework you did and write me a nice outline. Boom! It'll knock out a nice outline. And then you can tell it, take point one of that outline and, write me, an opening scene or whatever it might be. So break your stuff up into chunks, and it gets way, way better because as you're doing that back and forth with it, it's getting more and more context. So you're kind of narrowing the world of words it's looking at to serve you in a much more specific way. So it tends to get really good. But yes, GPT-4 is really, really good. Jen McCauley was laughing at something. Probably the dog barking. I know. Honey, did you fart? I thought you farted. I know. The dog farted. It's a George Carlin routine. How do you create a no-code API with ChatGPT? How to. So how I do it is with Zapier. So Zapier added. This didn't work yesterday. We'll see if it does today. Zapier added an AI generating tool that's in beta right now. Last night it didn't work, so let's see if it works tonight. Nope. So how Zapier works? Let me go back. I'm going to create a new Zap, or I'll just show you one that I've already built. So this is a thing that I wrote called the challenge engine. So let me go show you what it is first. Let's go to contentevolution.net. Okay, so I'm the chief generative officer for this organization called Content Evolution. And we created this thing called the challenge engine. And it's basically just a Google form, and it asks you your first name and your email, then your business category, then share a business challenge that you're facing. What are the forces driving that change? How is this challenge impacting your business? And, what results would you see if the challenge was addressed, right? So you give it a challenge, and then what it responds with, let me go over to the old Gmail. Here I come to save the day. Any Gen Xers in the house? Anyone know who that was? All right. Let's go challenge engine. So what's going on? We've updated our terms of service. Okay, I'm pretty sure I just gave away all my privacy to Microsoft. Okay, so you answer some questions in that form, and like 30 seconds later, it sends you back this email that gives you an initial kind of analysis of what you asked for. And then in, I think it's 6 different categories, it gives you 3 questions you should be considering. So here's strategic considerations. Here's what you should be asking yourself about your customers, your brand implications. And this is all personalized to the challenge that you put in. So the challenge here was the quality of your question. You asked about, I would like to file a patent for an invention of mine. And then, so this asks a bunch of questions about the patent. Let's see, what organizational changes will you need to make in order to ensure the success of your invention? Okay, so that's what the thing does. So how does it do that? So you go to Zapier, and Zapier, it's kind of like a pile of Lego blocks. So each one of these horizontal bars is basically a different Lego block, and then it kind of goes in order. So the first one is, it takes the input from the Google form. So if you open this up, There's, like, here's the form you used. It's like we're using the Content Evolution Challenge engine. And then it brings the input from that form. And then the next thing down is the OpenAI prompt that gets sent over to OpenAI. So I've got a really complicated prompt in here because we're looking for sophisticated output. And then, like, all these little fields right here, these are the data from the form. So step one is pull the data in from the form. Step two is stick that data into this bigger prompt and then send that off to OpenAI and then get back an answer for that. So the first thing is I get back the content. And then the second thing I do is take that content and send that back to OpenAI and have it format the HTML. Like, it can do all the HTML formatting too, right? And then I take that and I put it in the email and that gets sent, and then a row gets added to a spreadsheet. So this is the way I would do it if I were you. And it doesn't have to be Zapier. There's one out there called Make, M-A-K-E, that I think is newer than Zapier. It looks pretty slick. I just figured out how to use Zapier, and it's been around for a while. It's really janky. The problem with no-code tools is that in order to make them no-code, they have to make them complicated and janky because they're trying to accommodate all people who might want to program something. So they start out with this really simple idea, and then it just gets increasingly complicated. So they're janky as shit. But Zapier's been around for fucking ever. So just go to YouTube, look up Zapier, and you will probably be bored out of your mind and go, boy, I wish I was watching male Rosie O'Donnell, Fat Alec Baldwin. But you won't be. You'll be watching some YouTuber talking about that. This is inspiring. Thank you. This is why I bought a lot of Nvidia. William Beckham, good on you. I hope you bought it like 2 years ago or more. Nvidia, they just hit $1 trillion market cap. I think they doubled in the past year, and then like 50% after that to $1 trillion. I don't have any of it. That was not a good move because I was paying attention to this stuff early enough to realize they were gonna probably be big. But holy crap, man, they seem unstoppable at this point because it's tough to spin up. It's tough to spin up chip manufacturing. So, and like the thing I don't get, like, I just don't understand that world at all. Like, why has Intel, not jumped into this game? Why has AMD not jumped into this game? I mean, Apple's actually killing it in this game, but it's all on their own silicon, right? Like, if you listen to the Vision Pro keynote, that was really fascinating. They didn't mention the word AI once, or the phrase AI, the acronym. They didn't use the word metaverse once. So they successfully separated themselves from the metaverse. And I feel like what they did by avoiding using AI was they didn't have to, there were no expectations other than the fact that Siri sucks and everybody knows Siri sucks. And then they're like, now you can just say Siri instead of Hey Siri, and it pops it up. But when Apple gets into the AI game, it's going to be good because if you listened, a lot of what they said is, oh, we're really good at, this is the neural part of our chip, and we're good at machine learning, and we're good at on-device inference, which basically means when we're doing all this magical AI stuff with these goggles, we're not sending it off to a server. It's all being done on the chips right in that device. So they're really good at it. Where do you get GPT-4? Okay. These URLs, why I have these here is for people who are trying to figure this shit out. I'm in no way associated with these, although I think I should be at this point because I'm just promoting the shit out of them. The top one is the official ChatGPT site. So you can get ChatGPT 4 there, but you need to pay for it. Bing is bing.com. So do I have it here? That's not bing.com. But we can go there. We have the technology. We have phalanges and a keyboard. Okay, so when you go to bing.com, you have your search box that if it says ask me anything, that's the new super modern one. And there's this chat button up here, and you click on the chat button, and it pops open a page that looks like this. This is GPT-4. Now, this is Microsoft's implementation of GPT-4, but it's cool. It's got 3 little modes, more creative, more balanced, and more precise. And it's also connected to the internet. So I can say, write me a poem about Game 3 of the NBA Finals, which that was the one that Jokic had a triple-double, and they won the game by a pretty sizable amount. Here's a poem about the NBA Finals. So the game was on the line. The players were in their prime. The crowd was on their feet as the ball was in the heat. The Nuggets seized the day. Jokic and Murray were on display. So that's GPT-4. And then you can also go to Poe.com. And Poe.com is a little confusing. People are like, wait, what do I do here? So Poe.com, down the left-hand side, you see all of these things. And these are all different large language models, down to ChatGPT. So Sage is Poe's thing. Then the next 3 here, GPT-4, Claude Plus, and Claude Plus Instant. You see that it says subscribed. You need to subscribe. You need to do their monthly fee to get those, but I'll tell you why that's a big deal. And then you've got Claude Instant, which is incredibly fast, and you've got GPT. And then you can also make your own chat bots. So I made like a Sling Blade chat bot, and a Yoda chat bot, and a Shakespeare chat bot, and a Midjourney chat bot. I didn't make the Midjourney one, but I pulled it in from someone. It'll write a Midjourney prompt. But you can use GPT-4 here if you subscribe. And this one that says Claude Instant 100K, what that means is it's like GPT-4, except, well, it's actually more like GPT 3.5, but it's got 100,000 token context window. And if you're new to this, that shouldn't mean shit to you. But basically what it means is this. ChatGPT has a limit as to how much text you can put in it for the prompt. So sometimes you're like, oh, I want it to analyze this work document I've got, and you'll copy and paste the text out of it, and you paste it into ChatGPT, and it's like, sorry, I can't eat all that. I'm full. And it won't deal with your shit because it's got a 4,000 token limit. This Claude Instant 100K has a 100,000 token limit, which is 75,000 words. So you could literally copy and paste an entire novel into the chat window and say, write me the last chapter. And it will. So that's Poe. So those are where I would start. Or those are where I'd go to get GPT-4. How can I bring Andy Kaufman back to life with ChatGPT? Listen, that person knows. Here I come to save the day. I remember seeing that and thinking like, who the fuck is this? What is going on? And then when he did all that wrestling stuff, it was Andy Kaufman on Saturday Night Live, by the way, for those of you that are youngins. I successfully made the self-avatar you taught us how to do. Very fun. Awesome. That's super cool. Yeah, they're fun. For those of you that weren't here, I can just show you what I did. Hang on. I made an image. So you can upload a picture of yourself in Midjourney, and then you can get the URL for that, and you can like make a Pixar character that looks like you. So I did that. I'm trying to figure out. I got too many tabs open. This is the life of ADHD. All right, I'll just go there. Hold, please. D-ID. So if you go to d-id.com, and so you see all these little vidges here, and like, here's one of me.
Hey there, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab, and today we're going to transform your understanding of AI.
So that's a synthesized voice. I cloned my voice on this site called 11 Labs, and I made that picture in Midjourney, and then I went into Photoshop Generative Fill, and I gave it that background with like the blurred out office, and then I brought all that into here, and basically you just take a picture, you take a sound file, and you hit build, and it does that. This stuff's really remarkable. Really, really remarkable. All right. If you have questions, it looks like there's some new folks here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I'm kind of geeking out on AI, and I'm rather than just going insane, I'm taking the shit that's in my head and kind of dumping it into my TikTok channel. For two reasons. One is to kind of just self-process and help myself get my head around this, but also to kind of demystify generative AI. There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of doomers, as we call them. There's the boomers, then there's the doomers, and we're Gen X. We're just bitter and fuck them all. But the whole point of this is to just share what I know and get you up to speed and hopefully get you curious and excited and things like that. Can you use your chatbot to answer comments based off of the timestamp of the comment on Facebook? Can you use your chatbot to answer comments? Yeah, you could do that with... You can do that with Zapier. So if you basically say to Zapier, look at this Facebook channel, and then, I don't know, whatever the timestamp is, pull whatever the comment was. And then once you have the data pulled in, so the way Zapier works is you've got all these Lego blocks, and some of the Lego blocks pull data in, and some of the Lego blocks send data out, and some of the Lego blocks process data, right? And so it's a combination. Like, you always start with a trigger, and the trigger is someone posted on my Discord channel, or someone posted on Facebook, or someone filled out the form, the Google form that you created, and then once that event happens, it's the trigger that triggers these series of Lego blocks to execute. So I think you could do that with Zapier. I feel like you've been on nonstop for a week. Are you sleeping? No, my wife's in New York, so I'm home. The boys are upstairs sleeping right now. I got to drive them to Boulder in a bit. But I've been just trying to put in a couple hours every night. I don't know why I'm doing this, to be quite honest. It feels important. It just does. So it's probably not. I think it's me just, making myself laugh, but need to find out how to tour Spain with limited mobility parents. So that's something that ChatGPT should be able to do quite easily. So here's a fail miserably. This is one of those things like, let me show you ChatGPT. And then like an hour later, you're like, no, it's going to be so cool when you see it. Like, when it actually works, you're not even going to believe it. So this is going to be one of those. Okay. So if you pay for ChatGPT Plus, you have this version of ChatGPT called plugins. So if you click on that, it gives you this little pull-down menu, and then you have a bunch of, what are these called? Plugins. And then you can turn them on or off. You can have up to 3 activated for any session. So if we're in a session right now and we want to tour Spain with limited mobility parents, we're going to go to some sort of travel plugin. I think I have a travel plugin here. Zapier, Kayak. Kayak might have it. Let's go look in the plugin store also. So I'm going to go to the plugin store, and there might be some other plugins that I don't have installed. And so I'm going to search for the plugins. I'm going to search for travel. Oops, or not the word travel. Travel Myth Experiences provides activity suggestions, ensuring an engaging and friendly travel experience. We'll try that one. Experiences. What's Travel Myth? Unleashed personalized hotel search. Get your guide. Find tours, excursions, and other activities. Okay, so, and then there's trip.com. All right, we'll grab that one too. Okay, so now I've got, what do I have? I have Kayak. Let's get rid of Kayak and let's put trip.com in there. So I've got experiences, get your guide, and trip.com. So what do? Well, if you roll over them, experiences, like they don't give you much. This is one of the challenges right now of GPT plugins, is that the interface is, there's a technical term for it, dog shit. And it's really confusing. So all you got to know is you can turn on 3 of them. And basically, if you have a really specific thing you want to do, like what you just said, you go find plugins that are kind of in the neighborhood, you activate up to 3, and then you can do your search. So we've got those three things activated. I want you to act as an international travel guide and agent that specializes in older people with mobility issues, right? Mobility issues. So the first thing that is it's not a hack. I hate that word. One of the ways that you can make ChatGPT function more predictably is like tell it what it is, and it focuses it. And as weird as it sounds, it actually does make a difference. There's a technical reason why it does. And I spelled mobility wrong. You can also put dramatic typos in here and it still figures it out. Okay, so I want you to act as an international travel guide and agent that specializes in older people with mobility issues. I want to book an exciting tour across Spain in the fall for 5 days on the coast and 5 days, in the interior. And I don't know what's going on, but so that's all I'm going to put in. And then what this should do is it should figure out which of those three plugins is the one that will most likely give us that. So it says, sure, I'd be happy to help you to plan your trip. Let's start with the coastal part of your trip. We'll first look at activities. Oh, let's start with the coastal city. Which city of Spain would you like to visit? Some popular options are Barcelona, Valencia, and Malaga. So it didn't have to go to the plugins for now because it's basically like I don't need to go to plugins because I can figure out. He didn't tell me where he was going, so we're going to go to Barcelona. And now it fired up trip.com, right? So it's figuring out on the back end what it needs to do. And what's cool about the plugins, you can flip this little caret button down and see what it did. So it said Barcelona, top hotel 5, and then a date range, and then it gave it back some stuff. So here are some top rated hotels. All right, so it's giving us some hotels. It's giving us prices. $215 a night, $704 a night, $408 a night. I'm going to stop generating here. I'm going to say, I need hotels that are incredibly accommodating to people with mobility issues. Are any of these better than the others? Question mark. We'll see what it does. And so this thing that I'm doing with it right now, the back and forth, basically this just said, they're all known for excellent service. I would recommend contacting them. So I'll say, okay, fine. Please give me 5 activity ideas for the day and 5 for the night. Now it's using Get Your Guide, right? So it's firing off a different plugin. So day activities, a catamaran cruise. That's maybe mobility friendly. A private guided tour of skip the line access. I don't know what that second one is. You visit some family. I guess that's fine. Board a cogwheel train. That would be good. Night activities. A flamenco show and dinner. That's fine. I'm going to say stop generating and say, can you find activities, especially for older people with mobility issues that want to stay active? So it's going back to get your guide. Let's see what it's actually asking it. Wow, that was quick. So it basically just said Barcelona for adults. So that was not good. Here's some activities in Barcelona suitable for older people with mobility issues. Tapas and flamenco experience, so you can sit around and eat and watch people dance. There's another flamenco show. There's an optional, a helicopter flight with a yacht cruise. That's kind of cool. $118. That's not bad. Evening tour. So anyway, so yeah, it can. Will it be perfect right off the bat? No, but it's like you can knock some stuff out. The other thing you could do is, this is another thing people sometimes don't know about ChatGPT. Make me a table of the hotels with the names linked to the website with a description and the cost and the rating, and sort by lowest cost first. And it will make you a table. And let's see if it actually sorts it by lowest cost first. So the $215 one, I think that was the cheapest. $247, right? So this isn't just giving you answers. Like, this is like solving shit for you, right? This is if you've never seen, ChatGPT do this stuff, now it's hung. So one of the things I've heard is in the past 2 or 3 weeks that GPT-4 is getting slow and cranky and unreliable. Probably because 8 billion people are using it now. So what it should do here, if it actually hangs, it'll give us an error. It should give us a continue button, which is something new that they added. It used to be if it got hung like this and it crashed, that you'd have to start it over. And so if you were doing really long things, it would just keep breaking. Yeah, now it's going again. But I mean, isn't that amazing? I mean, like, how long would it take you to like set up a Google Sheet and jump around to Google and go to all these sites? And even if you're going to like TripAdvisor or some site like that, you're copying and pasting URLs, and then you're going to the website. You're like, I don't like that one. And now you can just like knock it out and just go click on these links and copy and paste this into a Google Sheet or whatever. And, it's just crazy. All right. Thank you for sharing. I teach high school art, and I'm trying to figure out how to use this new tool. Okay, so let's go show you Midjourney. So in my opinion, Midjourney is by far the best of these tools. If you teach high school art and you want to get geeky, I would point you toward Stable Diffusion, because you can install your own instance, and it's open source. The developer community is always developing all sorts of new things for it. And it's pretty damn good. But Midjourney is the sexiest one. So you go to the Midjourney, update my username. Oh, cool. Oh, that's nice. You don't have to have a crappy Discord username. Okay. Anyway, sorry. ADD moment. Squirrel. Okay. So when you go to midjourney.com, you're like, try the beta. And when you say try the beta, it fires you off to Discord, which is completely disorienting. If you've never used Discord, it's confusing as all heck. It's confusing as all get out. So in Discord, these things down the left-hand side are servers. And then once you're in a server, these are channels. And it's just like if you've ever used Slack at work, it's almost identical to Slack. But you basically click on these channels, and there's little conversations in the middle. And so you're going to go to one of these, and then you'll pick a channel where you can make stuff. So how you make stuff with Midjourney is you type in a command. It's like you're chatting with someone, but you type in /imagine, and then it pops open this little prompt, and I can say, oh, you know what I'll do? I'm going to go show you something. I'm going to go back over here to Poe.com, and I'm going to show you there's a Midjourney bot for Poe. So we're going to grab the Midjourney bot, and we're going to start it over. And it basically says, what would you like to prompt in Midjourney? So I'm just going to type in 1970s muscle car, shiny new in a dusty abandoned factory. And then what it does is it actually rewrites that prompt with all sorts of modifiers. So you don't have to do all these modifiers, but this is a cool thing. So if you go to Poe.com / is it /Midjourney? Hang on. Yeah, Poe.com / Midjourney, it'll generate this. So I'm going to copy that prompt. So basically what it's saying is it took my thing and then it said, flickering fluorescent lights, the air thick with dust, rusted metal, the silence broken only by the sound of dripping water. It's getting a little flowery here, but it's going to use a Canon EOS 5D Mark IV, Kodak Porta 400 film, a 50mm prime lens. Techniques include shallow depth of field and deliberate underexposure, right? So it's giving it, and then directors, David Lynch, Quentin Tarantino, Sofia Coppola, Wes Anderson, Christopher Nolan. So it's giving it styles. Okay. So now we're going to hop back over to Discord, and I am literally just going to paste that wacky prompt right in there and hit return, and it will start doing its thing. And so it's off thinking, and then I'll show you what happens once these things come up. I mean, it really is remarkable. Like yesterday, I was trying to do some logos and. Those came out. Here was me as a Disney villain. Sorry about that. That's an uploaded photo of me. There's no reason you should see two of me next to each other. That's going to haunt your dreams. Here was me as a Disney prince, but it did it like photorealistic. Here's a ghost in an abandoned factory. Here's seagulls flying through the forest, but they don't look like seagulls. They look like doves. Here's a metallic bird over lava. So all of this stuff is Midjourney. And let's see if has it started our thing. It hasn't started yet. All right, we'll come back to that. So anyway, that's the basics of how you start with Midjourney. The other thing that I would if especially if you're teaching students, well, as a teacher, you would be teaching students. I'm clever. I have a degree in acting though, so the learning it didn't go so good. It was a little slow in the old upstairs head department. So if you go to this place called openart.ai /prompt book, it will take you to this thing. And this thing's really cool. It's the Stable Diffusion prompt book, but all of what you learn in here is applicable to Midjourney. And someone has probably done a Midjourney version of this. But openart.ai /prompt book. And then what this is, it's like a 96-page PowerPoint presentation that talks about the incredible depth of knowledge that these image generation tools have. So it tells you about prompt engineering. It tells you what the format is. Like, do you want to start with a photo or a painting? What's the subject? What are the details? What's the environment, the color scheme, the point of view, the background, right? All that different stuff. And then it even starts to show you things like modifiers, like photography modifiers. Like, here's all the different things it understands, different subjects, different styles, different shot types. Like, you can do a close-up, you can do an extreme close-up. And then it gives you examples of what it's going to be like if you use certain terms. You can do different art mediums, right? So if you're teaching an art class, you could have people just prompt in, using pencil drawing or using clay sculpture or something like that. Then it knows, like, essentially all the artists. It knows all the artists. So you want to do art history, have people generate their own versions of their favorite artists. This just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's so cool. So it's just one rabbit hole after the other. Like, you can take any one of these concepts and just run down the rabbit hole. Okay, so here's that bottom one is a 69 Judge, GTO Judge, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. That one's pretty good. I told it to make the car shiny, and it made them dusty as well. So that's something I would refine, and that's somewhere between a Judge and like a Pontiac Le Mans. So it's doing a little mixing and matching. It's taking some liberties, but that's a 70s muscle car in an abandoned factory, right? So that's not bad. So that is Midjourney, and you just keep going. So just dive in, teach your students all of this shit, because this stuff's cool. Gotta go. You ready now? You both ready? Soon? Just come. Yeah, come over when you're ready. I got to take the boys to Boulder, Colorado. They're going to go up there and smoke the marijuana with them hippies. All right. I'm so glad I'm high right now. You're blowing my mind. Enjoy, Jen. Oh. It's like, so I was on TikTok and Rosie O'Donnell came on, or maybe it was Fat Alec Baldwin. I don't know. Anyway, she was talking about AI, and then she showed this car in a factory. I don't know what I learned, but shit's happening. Did you hear about this AI thing? All right. If you have questions, pop them down below. Shut up. That's something you'd pay an $18 an hour HR person for to do. I don't know what I did. How do I sign up for your program? I don't have a program. Maybe I should make a program. If I make a program, will you sign up? I was thinking about that, doing a workshop. Maybe I'll do like a 4-week workshop or something like that. My mind is blown. I know, this stuff's insane. This stuff is fucking insane. If you have not played with this stuff, even if you're high, Jen, even if you're high, go to chat.openai.com and just start asking it to do shit. It'll probably be more fun when you're high. Tell it to write as a surrealist poet and see what it does with the words. It will continue to blow your mind. So when I started taking this stuff seriously, like 6 months ago, it was like I kept having like one jaw-dropping moment after the other. And I've had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a day for 6 months straight, I've been like, are you fucking kidding me? It does that? This is like nothing we've ever had our hands on. All of these things, the image things, the word things, the music things, the animation things that are coming. They're I don't know if you know this, they're rolling ChatGPT into all of Office 365. They're rolling it into the Windows operating system. It's already in GitHub. It helps programmers program. Google's doing the same thing for all the Google Docs. So these tools are going to be ubiquitous throughout everything that we use. It's like every single piece of software we use is going to have this button. And the button's going to be like, you want some magic? You want some crack, little kid? Here's magic. Push the button. There's the first chapter of your novel. Oh, well, that was easy. Maybe I should just rewrite it now. I don't know. I can't even begin to fathom what we're entering. Actually, I can begin to fathom it. What my nickname is for it right now is I feel like we are entering the Great Renaissance. That humanity has been handed a tool that amplifies almost everything about us. You can take a whisper of an idea. Like you saw what I did there with those cars. Like that was just a shitty little idea, right? And because I knew how to use this tool and that tool and I put it in that other tool, boom, up came that thing. And if I spent another 10 minutes on that, I'd have that thing dialed in and exactly what I want. I didn't have to go to a factory. I didn't have to take a camera. I didn't have to Photoshop in 37 different pieces of whatever. It's just like, bang, there it is. Like, that's what we're entering. This is the world. Look, it's Kyle Shannon. Hi, Emilio's wife. How are you? I have to go soon. My boys are going to come down there. They're going to be like, Dad, we got to go. Dad, hey, listen, I'm like, hey guys, have you seen this AI thing? Yeah, it's stupid. Okay. That's what I deal with. To be Gen X. I mean, Gen Xers, we're fucking scrappy, right? Like, we're fucking survivors. These kids these days. Get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! You little kids, get some ambition. What's my background and expertise? My background is I have a degree in acting. I moved to New York City out of school. I started and ran a theater company. I wrote 7 screenplays in 2 years because I get manic sometimes. Then in the mid-90s, I started one of the first online magazines, a magazine called Urban Desires. Actually, here, this is for the older people on the call. This, is a SciQuest drive. So a SciQuest drive, this was like a giant floppy. That's like a hard drive platter in there. And you stuck that in a machine that was connected to your to your computer, and that held 40 megabytes. So I started that in 94, and then also in 94 I started one of the first digital agencies, a company called agency.com. And part of the reasons I got so into all this AI stuff is that the parallels between the early days of the web and the early days of AI are remarkable. There's remarkable parallels right now. So that's my background. And then my current company is called Storyvine, and it is an automated video storytelling platform. And I am completely re-architecting the product because of AI, because a lot of where our current value proposition is today is going to be valueless a year from now. Not all of it. We've got some things that are going to go up in value, but we've got other things that are going to go down in value. So I'm just dealing with that. What's the best AI stocks to invest in? I'm shitty with money. Don't ask me that. I have a degree in acting. Embrace your inner Mighty Mouse. Here we are to save the day. What's your background? I just answered that. I just subscribed to GPT-4 and don't see a significant difference. It's not accessing real-time data. Okay, so if you went to... So there's a couple of things. One of the differences with GPT-4 is really subtle in the writing. Like, it's just better at writing. But if you're looking at GPT-4 and you're not seeing Browse with Bing and you're not seeing plugins, it means that you don't have them turned on. So how you turn them on is, you go to your settings. So in the, underneath all of your chat history, you click on that, you go to settings, and then you click on this thing, beta features. And then you have to turn on Browse with Bing and plugins. So you have to proactively turn on these beta features. Once you do that, then your GPT-4 will have default Browse with Bing. So that's Bing connected to the internet and plugins. And so now I can say, what is the score in the Nuggets game right now? So the Nuggets are playing right now. On the TV, it's 76 Denver, 68 Miami. Go Denver! I'm in Denver, by the way. I don't give too much of a shit about sports, but... oh, wait. Hang on. Did I not... I didn't choose... Sorry. I didn't choose the one that was connected to the internet. Sorry about that. So now I did. Now I chose the one connected to the internet. What? That was... Let me show you how this works. Oh, it didn't work. What is the score of the Nuggets game right now? And it should fire off, there you go, fire off a plugin called Browsing the Web. Nuggets score live. It searched Bing, Denver Nuggets live score. The latest score I could find was 55-51 in favor of the Nuggets at the end of the first half. That's not the latest. Can you try a different source? And it fired off the plugin again, and now it's still searching Bing. Anyway, so you can do it, and that click failed. All right, that was disappointing. Wait, now it went to NBA.com. Going back to the last page, thinking. Link failed. So it's trying. It's doing what it can. Anyway, that's how you do it. That's how you turn that stuff on. What am I missing? You needed to turn on your beta features. Did it get it? No. It's even worse. It gave us the first quarter score. All right. Can you use your chatbot to answer? Wait, sorry. Let me go back to this thing and this thing. Hey, everybody. We don't have any new people here. This is all the old and tired people like me. I'm old. I'm tired. All right. Can you use your chatbot to answer comments based off timestamps? I answered that. I feel like you've been on nonstop for a week. Am I sleeping? No. Oh wait, sorry. I'm way back to old questions. Let me zoom down because I have to leave soon. Love your focus on accessibility. Thank you. Did I focus on accessibility? I don't know what I did. What is this? Oh, that was because someone asked a question about their parents having mobility issues. What is this? This is the AI Learning Lab. My name's Kyle Shannon. I'm just a dude talking about AI. And I do not have a degree in machine learning. I have a degree in acting, so I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about. He's showing people, oh, that's good. You're supporting me by supporting one another. I'm late. How do you get the image in there? Okay. So in Discord, if you want to make an image based on some other image, Discord's wonky enough. This is the most convoluted process. This is just horse shit, but this is how you do it. There's an image. So there's a disturbing image of me. Let me find. There's another one. That one. I don't know. My face is unfortunate. Okay. So you just drag and drop from the Finder into Discord, and then you hit return, and it says processing. And so now in Discord is this image. And so if I right click it, or on a Mac, control click it, I can say copy link. And so basically you need to upload the image into Discord by dragging it into the little, plus area, the chat area. And then you right click it to copy the URL. And now I go /imagine, and then I paste in that URL. All right, so the first thing you see there is the URL of that image. And now I say, handsome doctor in a soap opera. And so now it's going to take that image and my stupid ass prompt, and we'll see what it does. It's probably going to make me 400 pounds. There I go. Oh, it's going pretty quick. Let's watch it. We'll sit here and watch it. You can watch it magically turn from nothing to something. All right, I'm wearing a doctor's coat. Oh, it looks like someone passed out at the basketball game. The game has been paused. They're taking her out on the stretcher. Hope she's okay. Oh, this is making me handsome. I like Midjourney. Let's see what it does. Let's see. It's at 62%. It's getting better. It definitely looks soap opera-y. Like, look at, like, even that pose, that soap opera pose, like, hey, I'm here with your diagnosis. It's terminal. Oh, it made me look like Ryan Reynolds. I'll take it. Because that ain't reality. Is he ready yet? Okay. All right, I got to go. So anyway, that's how you upload images. I got to go, everybody. I'll come back later. Because why not? I'm going to scroll to the bottom now. Peace out, everyone. I'll talk to you later.